All right, so today we're going to talk about why we study history. And there's two people, historians that I really kind of follow and read about and read their work quite a bit. One of them is John Fea. He's a professor out of Messiah College. And the other is Sam Weinberg from Stanford University in California. And so this first quote is from John Fea. He says, "History is a discipline and it is the art of reconstructing the past." And so I want us to think about that. What is that saying? What is it, the art of reconstructing the past? That's history. So the fullness, the complete story is gone. We will never have the absolute complete story because it's gone. It is in the past. We won't have every bit of knowledge of anything, but we do know we can reconstruct a full picture of the past. Some events are easier to reconstruct than others, but that's the job of the historian, is to reconstruct that past. And we want to study the fullness of that history. And so let me kind of help you to understand what I'm trying to say. So our goal in studying history is to know the truth. It's not to make us love or hate. When we study the past, we want to kind of set that aside and simply try to reconstruct what really happened and understand that. It helps us. And when we do that, what we are actually doing is recognizing that there's a fullness to the human experience. If you think about life today is full of both tragedy and triumph. The human experience is full of tragedy and triumph. And so when we act like history is only moments of overcoming adversity and don't really dig into that adversity and what that adversity means and don't dig into those tragedies and those difficulties, then we are acting as if the fullness of human experience is only today and the people of the past didn't have that same full experience that we do. And of course they did. And so we've got to understand that the past has both. The past has awful things. The past has great things. The past is the fullness of human experience. And so we rob ourselves of really that opportunity to grow up, to be adults, to have maturity when we act like the past is not full of both the fullness, both tragedy and triumph. It's both difficult things, hard history, and inspiring history. And the fact is, often those things are very closely tied together. The reason history is often inspiring is because there's difficult things that they're overcoming. The people of the past had to overcome. We want to be respectful of our ancestors. We don't want to worship them, but we do want to be respectful of what happened in the past. And when I say that, I don't mean to act like certain things didn't happen. I say we want to be respectful of it in that the fullness of life experience happened then too. And so when we act like some of the bad things weren't so bad or weren't so difficult, then what we're really doing is robbing those people that went through those times of the fullness of that experience. We're acting like their difficulty isn't the real thing. I often ask my students, if you tell a friend about something difficult in your life and they act like it's not a big deal or they ignore it, how does it make you feel? Well, it makes most of us feel unimportant and not valued. And so and it's not the people of the past can know how we are treating them, but we want to learn the fullness of that experience so that we can gain the wisdom of the past. So as we look at the great tragedies of our history, we must face them with maturity and not look away or ignore the truth. When we ignore the truth, we fail to learn the wisdom that the study of our history should provide us. If we have the courage to face the fullness of our history, we will learn so much more from it than if we just look at the parts that make us feel good. So I want you to keep that in mind as we study difficult things this year, that it may be difficult at times. It will be difficult. It might make you angry. It might make you happy. There's all sorts of things that we'll study, but you can have the courage to study those things, to gain the wisdom of those studies, and to help us as a nation to move forward from those things.